Thank you, Arcturians. Arcturian 103 Collective. Why does it seem like the world is going so crazy? It just feels like things are getting crazier and crazier. I'm just curious what your thought is on what's going on in the world today. Hello, dear. This is Darli and the entire collective of 103 Arcturians, myself included. Tonight we'll talk about, and we quote, why has the world gone so crazy? The world seems like it's gotten crazier, but things are almost as crazy as they've ever been. The reason it seems crazier is because eyes are being opened to things that have been going on. Wool that has been pulled over your eyes. And it's not that things are getting crazy. The reason you see this now is because you're growing and changing. Now, some people are becoming very ungrounded with the reality they had built within and around themselves. The identity that they held, even if it was false, a mask. And when we say mask, we mean the persona that they put over themselves got stripped away in one way or the other. And that uprooted them, made them face a version of themselves that they didn't understand or know before. So some people are grappling with building a new idea or persona. Some are going to explore new religions. Some are going to explore various belief systems and pathways. Regardless of whatever path one chooses, there has been a shaking of the group consciousness of the collective humankind. Many of you who are listening to this may think that you have found the way, you have found the bridge to understanding the chaos. Some of you are hyper-focused on fear-based information. And ironically, oftentimes many humans feel a sense of control when they listen to fear-based things in the moment that they're listening to it. And they look for answers of what to do, how to resolve the situation. But in fact, all it does is regurgitate more fear. When we say to focus on the positive or the light or the love, we're not saying to pull more wool over your eyes or to be like an ostrich burying your head in the sand. It's okay to turn on the news if you must, but with the curiosity of understanding what's being said around you. But completely immersing yourself in the experience of what's being said, easily adopting on one side or the other, without really listening or understanding what is the truth behind this? What is the intention behind what is being said? Whether it is the news or when you click on a YouTube video. Is this meant to scare me or inspire me? Is this meant to scare me or inspire me? And if it's scary, did it inform me and create an inspiring Because if you spiral into fear, dears, and you become scared, and in the base frequency of fear, it pulls you more closely into realities of fear outcomes. It is true that there are so many things going on in this world. Things that you would determine as good and bad. One person can be watching the terrible things going on in a certain country, one that has been plagued with war and disease and poverty, and that can greatly depress someone who sees that and wonders why an external God would allow this, why governments would allow this. And then another person will be watching the same situation and ask, what can I do to help my fellow human beings? What can I do to help create a better situation in the world? Most watching won't know what to do at all, and this is okay. Because simply by sending the love frequency and vibration in their direction, it really helps to bring more eyes of the people that can do something about such situations. Likewise, the person that gets angry about it doesn't really block, but they don't help to bring about more awareness. They're bringing about the awareness of the situation to others about how quote-unquote crappy the world is, or how bad a government is, or how bad people can be. Or they'll use it as an opportunity to say, okay, I'm not as bad off. Thank goodness that's not me. Thank goodness that's not loved ones. But the truth is, they are you. They are parts of you in a collective sense. You may even have lifetimes as the people experiencing that there, and that's why you saw it. So giving love to those really does help to create a vortex of energy fields that helps to bring others to that situation. And this can be applied to anything. This is an example. So when you're clicking on, for example, again, a video that induces fear, it creates harm and imbalance within your system. Again, we're not saying that you can't inform yourself, dears. But when you become so fixated upon it, the moment you start to see your bodily system become ungrounded, your body, your heart center will let you know when you become disturbed, when the disruption and the disturbing feelings don't lead to something positive that you can do about it, when it doesn't inspire you, then you will get locked in fear, and then you are creating and adding to a fear-based torus, vortex, whatever you want to call it. It's spinning this tornado of feelings. And because you are already new fifth dimensional beings, we know that many of you are being told you're entering into it. You are, as we've said before, almost like 1 foot in the 3D, 1 foot in the 5D, but you're technically new 5D. You're already here. All of you. But some of you will continue to think in the old 3D reality, and the rest of you are learning how to think as a new 5D being. What might be called as a paradigm shift. You simply make a decision where you want to be. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to do any special cleansing or any special diet. You simply state to the soul of yourself, your higher heart, your higher self, that you want to experience being a fifth dimensional being. Now, we do want to say fifth dimensional beings, it doesn't mean you're always positive. This has been very confused with this concept that higher dimensional beings are always positive beings or ones of what you would say love and light. It's not true. It means you have a higher, finer evolutionary growth. You are certainly in a higher frequency. You're vibrating in a higher frequency. But let's say you have an old piano, and you have this piano that couldn't play in higher octaves, and so you got it tuned to where it could. You had the new threads were available to put in, and so you could. But some of them may not be as good as the others, or sound as nice or as appealing. They could be a little too loose or a little too tight. But still they will have a certain vibration frequency close enough to that. It can sound pleasant or unpleasant. But regardless, it's personal choice. Because it's about where you focus your intention. And so you really can create a sense of heaven or hell. And you have to first experience it on an individual level first and offer it up as a gift to the collective, or it can be a nightmare to the collective. And so something that Kalina and we have been noticing is the amount of material that's out there that is designed to hook humans and bring them down, to keep you anchored, like a reverse fishing mechanism. It's shiny, it hooks you, it gets your curiosity, and it brings you down or keeps you where you're at. And again, it's okay to be curious. Curiosity doesn't mean you're caught. And it certainly isn't like the saying, curiosity killed the cat, an old saying. Curiosity can spark inspiration. It's when you get addicted to an idea or obsessed with an idea that's not your own that can evolve into a problem. Or it can turn into a problem. We want to point out that, as we were saying this, there is a term called clickbait. And what is it that they do to get a fish to bite? They put bait on it. So, not everything that has a clickbait title will mean that it is actual clickbait. Sometimes it is to catch your curiosity, to inspire you, to bring you up, or to inform you. But if it drags you down, hooks you, if you find yourself having nightmares or worrisome thoughts, we suggest this is best to let it go. If it's not something that you can help resolve in the collective, if you feel something that needs to be resolved, then send love to it. If it's bringing you anxiety and you're not in the position where you can change it, send love to it to help make the energy bigger. Just like when you click a like button, you bring an algorithm up. It's the same. It's a reflection of the world. You are bringing attention, the energetic spiritual algorithm, and it brings it to more awareness to other beings. And the more beings there are, the more quickly whatever it is you believe needs to be resolved can be resolved. Or you might be that person too that catches wind of this. Because of the awareness, you can also teach. You can also inspire. But it has to be yours and within you first. So we want to get into the next bit of information we want to talk about, and that is your own creativity and inspiration. It's very natural to adopt beliefs and get inspired by ideas of others. It's true that there's no truly 100% original idea, because everything, as you know, comes from source. But the closer you put yourself into vibrating with the frequency of source, with your own unique personal vibration, meaning who you truly are in this moment of life as a human being, as you experience it, as you honor yourself, you have your own unique vibration and tone. And how do you align it with that frequency of source? By simply loving and realizing you are already part of that. Everyone around you is already part of that. Many don't know it, or they may have an inkling of it. But what happens is, if you really want to experience the miracles in your life, is you realize that you are part of that source and you bathe yourself in that frequency for as much as you can remember, every day, at night. That's what really meditation is about. In these moments comes your sparks of creativity, wisdom, and remembrance. This is when you explore and discover who you truly are. That part of you, that part of source. Now, we're not saying that you'll never have hardships. You could very well be the people, when we brought up the people in the country that has poverty and war, and maybe they have a disaster. But all of these things were asked to be in your experience from your higher self before you were born. You had made the decision to experience these things to help push yourself to grow. And oftentimes, the strongest souls, and you're all strong, but when you come into a moment of where you ask for a life such as this, it often reflects one who is quite advanced and serious about their growth. And we're not saying those of you, for instance, in other countries that may have more comfort, don't have that, because there are different variations of experiences. You may have already experienced having lives in a country such as what we've mentioned. What we're saying is, oftentimes, those of you that experience more hardships in your lives often are here to create a certain point of mastery. We see many people who are studying the law of attraction courses, and they feel very bad about themselves because they seem to always be, as they say, in a bad state of luck, or things just keep going wrong. Diseases or certain things keep popping up. Situations that lead to homelessness or even drug abuse. We would say drug addiction would be nicer and kinder. I know, and we know that many people say drug abuse, but we would like to call it for what it is. It's an addiction. You can be addicted to anything. It doesn't make you a bad person. But it creates a hardship, but also an opportunity to grow. Not that we are condoning, we must say this. We're not condoning that others use drugs, but for those that do end up in the addictive state, and it's because on a soul level, you wanted to have an altered state of reality, of experience, because as you know, it can completely alter a personality. It can give you insight into your own shadow selves, as some people would call it. Your own inner darkness, as others might call it, but we would prefer to say the aspects of yourself that you weren't aware of and you weren't willing to deal with. until that moment. And so this gave you a tool and an opportunity to experience that. Now, if you take the time to meditate, to just sit alone with yourself, ideally in quietude, and if you can get out in nature, that would be wonderful. Because one of the scariest things, and we know most people say that getting up in front of a crowd and citing a speech is the number one fear. But what we've seen, the true highest fear we've seen, alongside not having enough food to eat or a roof over your head, would be simply being alone with yourself. People create entire relationships that aren't even good for them, that they don't really like, they lie to themselves about, just so they don't have to be alone and face themselves. Now, a lot of you were forced into this during the pandemic, and some of you experienced what it really was to be alone. Some of you distracted yourself with the devices and things, the addictions, but you still had ample time to really be within yourself. Some of you really blossomed and grew. Some of you adopted new belief systems. Some of you created, I don't want to say created new belief systems, but you found what you really flow with. More than just a belief, but what you flow with, what you feel. We want to invite you to really be within yourself. And yes, you'll feel all the good, all the things that you perceive as bad. Now, what we want to say is, when you feel scared, when a memory or a bad feeling pops up, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And ask it, what are you trying to teach me? What are you trying to reveal? What is the gift that you have to offer me? And this is going to be hard for some things. It's going to feel ridiculous and cruel in some cases, because there are experiences that are just almost unmentionable. But in order to release it, you have to learn what it is that you needed to know from that situation. And if you can't really deal with it at that moment, accept that that's where you are. And tell it, thank you, but I will deal with this a little later when I feel a little more ready. And it'll keep coming up. If you notice, it'll come up naturally every time. And you can deal with it a little bit at a time. Just accept it, dears. There are a lot of things. Likewise, all the beautiful good things will pop up too. You'll start to feel a sense of your guides, of your higher self, of your inner soul. You may see flashes of light even when your eyes are closed. And this is all normal and natural and profound at the same time. Now, I imagine many of you are asking, how does one meditate? There are so many ways. You could research it, and there's much good guidance. One that we've been liking, that Kalina's been researching, is the breath work through the nose. In the nose and out the nose. Because we've noticed that it helps to create a serene calmness in her body. But you can entirely make up what you need. You need to listen to your heart, but ultimately, the first and most important step of meditation is to just be willing to be with yourself. Start with 5 minutes a day. And if you can increase it, even if it's 5-minute increments here and there. You say you don't have time, do it in the bathroom. We're serious. Do it in the bathroom, if you must. You say you can't get away from this or that, well, you take time every day to several times. It's called a restroom. But if you can, ideally, make Make sure you get outside. Put your feet on the ground when you can. Your bare feet. Get some sunlight. Drink water. Don't have to do a lot of it. Just greet the sun for a few moments. Drink some water. Tell yourself you love yourself. Feel the godliness between you and all beings, not just the human beings, but every organism in the soil beneath your feet. Every organism and atom and molecule and air around you. The vastness and the beauty of the sky. All the beings seen and unseen there. The water and the roots that flow beneath your feet. The sound of the birds chirping around you. They are a part of you. Feel the connectedness of everything around you. That you are a part of it. Branch yourself out to everything around you. And then bring yourself back into yourself. And feel everything that is you and realize within you as a whole world to connect to in the same way. Every cell, every molecule, every atom, every drop of blood, everything. Even when you go out and you hear the annoying sounds, maybe some of you don't care for certain cars whizzing by or certain tools being used to fix a road or whatever it may be. Realize there's goodness for those being there, that there's a person operating that, a whole being with their own internal system as a world filled with atoms, molecules, cells, bacteria, viruses, filled to the brim with life, just like this world. So vast, and even the machine itself is filled with all kinds of atoms, molecules covered in dust, organisms, minerals. So much here that has been created just so that we can all have this experience together. In knowing this, when you are alone, you are never truly alone, because your guides are also with you, along with everything that I just said. Your guides, loved ones that have crossed over, angelics. Yes, they really do exist. Your higher self, that greater part of you you always have access to, is always with you. And of course, the divine source. Some of you may call God. Some of you call the universe. It is always there, flowing within and without through every living being and every inanimate object. No matter whether you consider yourself good or bad, this love and this life is unconditional. No matter what dimension you're on, no matter you consider yourself an angel or a demon, or a human or a reptilian, it simply doesn't matter, dears. We're just here playing a big, great, grand game. And if you want it to be more fun, and you want it to go in a nicer way, remember what you focus your attention on. Are you focusing your attention on the various clickbaits of this world? And we're not just talking about videos, we're talking about everything, because there are so many things to point your attention to. Are you choosing the energies Or are you letting yourself be hooked into the energies? Are you being inspired? Or are you being hooked into place or hooked down? We send all of our love to all of you, dears. We see the greatness and the goodness in all of you. We love you so much, and we want you to know that it's not just that we believe in you, but we know you, know your hearts. We know and we very much respect the uniqueness that it is to have an earth and human experience. We understand it is unique for every being. But we know that earth, regardless of what creature you are experiencing yourself in, can be particularly challenging at times. And for this, we smile in amazement, in gratitude that you will come and listen to what we have to say. And it's not to say that we have not had our own versions of hardships, but the varied amount of experiences in the emotions, not just of humans, but the beings that are here, the animals, the plants. It's quite beautiful to get a glimpse into the reality that is all of you. It is a beautiful and fertile world that you live in, and you are a beautiful and fertile people. Just remember to be very choosy about which seeds you really want to dears. And if you want to experience the feelings of being afraid or frustrated, that's okay, some of you do. We just want to make aware and point out a few things for those of you who are wondering why things are not changing in a way. If you are wanting a kinder, gentler reality, if you're wanting to see what you refer to as the new 5D Earth, there's so many different variations, but 5D has so much to do with what you point your attention to. So keep that in mind and realize also that you are also a creator God in all of this. You also help to co-create this reality with others. And you will always draw in those who are like-minded to you, and also those who are not, depending on your level of focus, and also what you need as a catalyst to help you grow. Much love to all of you. Again, we send you our love, and we'll talk again later. Good night, good day, wherever you are.